Hi, and welcome to Not a Fan with Shah Shafi. I'm Shah Shafi, and this is Not a Fan, my podcast. Hi, and welcome back to my podcast. I hope you're coming back. I can't really tell, but fingers crossed. It's been an interesting week because I did a corporate show on Zoom, which was my first time doing a corporate show on Zoom, and it was a regular corporate show. They called me to discuss things that I can and cannot talk about, which is pretty regular. It happens all the time, and I was like, oh, fine, it'll be this usual. You can't talk about religion, you can't talk about politics, no sexual things. But they were like, no, no, we're okay with that. Just don't talk about getting laid off or appraisals because we don't really know where this company is going right now. Which is the first time I've heard somebody say that, yeah, it's okay that you talk shit about the government. Just don't talk about how we'll be unemployed tomorrow. But it was a fun show. The company sent me some information about themselves so I can make jokes about that. And one of the points was that the average age of the company is 20 to 25 years old. And if the show had happened a couple of months ago, I would have been very excited to perform for 20 to 25-year-olds. But the thing is, 2 months ago, I turned 26. So now I was one of the oldest people there, which does not help because nothing makes you feel old like younger people. But then the day of the show arrived and classic comedy happened. The show was supposed to start at 8:30 p.m. and I was supposed to log into the Zoom meeting at 8:25. So I log into the Zoom meeting at 8:25, and as soon as I enter, one guy is like, "Hey, hi, hello, how are you?" And I was like, "Hey, man, what's up? How have you been?" And so this guy just looks at me and he's like, "Actually, I wasn't talking to you. I was saying hi to a friend of mine." He said hi to me, so I was replying to him. I wasn't saying hi to you. I was like, ah, fuck, damn it. So I just quietly put myself on mute and turned off my camera. And then I texted my manager saying, hey, this wasn't that bad, right? It wasn't that embarrassing. And he was like, oh, it was very embarrassing. I was like, ah, fuck. But that was the story of what happened to me this week. But on to the things that I want to talk about. First item on the agenda. The first thing I'm not a fan of this week is working from home. Remember how we all used to think how great working from home would be? Man, were we wrong. But Shad, you've always worked from home. You've never had an office. Yeah, but my roommate did. And I miss being alone at home, which is the best part about living that few hours that you get when you're alone at home. It's not fun when everybody in the house is working from home. When everybody is working from home, then it's just like, hey, can you please turn down the volume on your porn video? I can't hear the moans in my porn video. Those are all the conversations that you have. Dude, when everybody in your house is working from home, then it's not a house anymore. Then it's a co working space with none of the perks of a co working space. There's no space, there's no pool table, and there's definitely no funding, in my case at least. I read an article about how to work effectively when you're working from home. The first point this article said was that you should dress up. You should dress up like you're going to work when you're working from home, which is actually a pretty good idea because how I dress when I'm working from home is not work appropriate at all. I'm wearing like boxers, a vest, one sock. If I showed up to an office wearing what I wear at home, they would be like, भैया छुट्टा नहीं है हमारे पास. कितनी बारी बोल चुके हैं हम आपको. The second point that I read in this dumb article was that you should use emojis to make correspondence more fun. How will you use emojis in a work email? Like, you'll be like, dear employee, you are now fired. Sad emoji. Will miss the Rajma Chawal you would bring in your tiffin. Colon P. Warm regards, Mukesh Ambani. And the final reason why I'm not a fan of working from home is because I'm not working at all. But Shad, you weren't working before the lockdown either. Yeah, but I could at least go out and spend money, which gives you the illusion that you're working. Because sitting in an Uber really gives you the feeling of employment, that you have money to spare because more money is coming in. I don't know what your reasons are for not liking working from home, but these are the reasons why I'm not a fan. But on to the next thing that I want to talk about.
Second item on the agenda.
The second thing I'm not a fan of this week is grocery shopping during the lockdown. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's corona everywhere, and none of the food delivery apps are delivering to my area. And when you go out, nobody is following social distancing. I was standing in line for the groceries, and dude, nobody is following social distancing. This old auntie just comes and sticks to me in the line. At first, I was like, oh, is she hitting on me? I mean, I am dressed up because I was working from home. But I was like, no, this is not the time. So I turned to the auntie and I was like, hey, can you please maintain some distance? And she was like, Beta, I'm so old. It's not safe for me to be out for so long. I just want to get back home. You think it's safe for me to be out? I'm also doing it. I'm not going and sticking up to the person ahead of me. If anything, you have lived your life. You have seen everything that there's to see that you could in your life. I still have my whole life in front of me. If anything, you should be like, beta, you stay at home. I will get your groceries for you. You watch the last few episodes of the Michael Jordan documentary. Which is something that I'm a big fan of, by the way. That's a great documentary. Last Dance on Netflix. But I don't want to digress. Let's get back to the hating on hand right now. Dude, everybody's just buying things in bulk. So when you go out to buy something, the grocery shops just don't have anything. It doesn't matter what you want to have for dinner. The grocery shops will just not have the ingredients. Dude, every meal is like a MasterChef ingredients challenge right now. You know, like, oh, for dinner, your ingredients are onion, potatoes, and Vicks Vapor Rub. I feel Maggie has become the most valuable commodity right now because everybody wants to buy it since it's so easy to make. And since everybody is buying it, there's a shortage, which I think is just increasing its value. I remember like when I went out, I actually saw the guy get the last packet of Maggie, and then he took his mask off and put it on the packet of Maggie. He was like, I don't care if I get corona right now. I just don't want people to see that I got the last packet and then they come and lynch me. I think he was putting the mask so that people just don't recognize it's a packet of Maggie. And people come up to him and like, hey, is that a packet of Maggie? He's like, no, no, it's not. I'm not a fan of washing utensils either. I don't know if you guys are enjoying it, but I'm not. I've reached a point where I have stopped washing utensils and I just reuse them, which is where I think fusion food comes from. Butter chicken pasta was not a stroke of genius, it was just laziness. But the one thing I am a fan of in regards to cooking is leftovers. Because when you see leftovers in your fridge, you're just like, won't have to cook again. It's the best feeling. But now on to the next thing, which I'm not a fan of this week.
Third item on the agenda.
I've been watching Shark Tank's new season. Let me preface this by saying that I'm a huge fan of Shark Tank. Like I've watched Shark Tank with every meal for the past 2 years now. Like with every meal, I watch one pitch. I've watched each episode of the previous season so many times that you can just tell me the idea and I'll tell you the dumb reason that Barbara gave to not invest in it. But the reason I'm not a fan of this new season of Shark Tank is because Shark Tank is also falling into the same reality show trope of people crying.
Oh no, it's rant time.
I can understand why contestants cry in a show like Indian Idol because they're showing their full range of emotions, I guess, and they're like, hey, we can be sad also. We can be the next Arijit Singh. But this is a business competition. Why are you crying? How is crying a part of your business plan? You know, you're like, oh, year one, we'll sell online. Year two, we'll cry. And then somebody will buy our company for $45 trillion. And what annoys me is that sometimes it works. Like the sharks just go, hey, we know that we were out, but after hearing your sob story, maybe sunglasses for mosquitoes is a very good idea. I mean, I get it that it's a big moment, so you get a little emotional and you end up crying. But how do you get a deal because of the crying? Dude, I've cried in front of teachers. They've never given me grace marks. How are these guys giving you $1 million for 10%? Just because you told a story about, oh, how you were fired and so you came up with this idea of shoe flavored chewing gum. I don't know. You know, they say things like, oh, we worked so hard on it. This company is really our baby. Dude, they say things like, oh, this company is our baby. You're selling strollers with your actual baby inside it. Don't call your company your baby in front of your actual baby. That has to be a little hurtful. Then the baby grows up and his friends ask him, hey, do you have any siblings? And he's like, yeah, an elder sister. Her name is Scrolly the Stroller Private Limited. I've seen shows where people cry less when they're negotiating with a kidnapper for their actual baby. I really don't get why people are crying in Shark Tank, and it's really ruining the show for me.
End of rant.
That brings us to the end of the podcast. Thank you for watching or listening. I hope you guys had fun. I'll see you guys next week, hopefully.